Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
So, yeah, are you ready?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Ah, cool. Well, welcome everyone to today's stream. A podcast interview with Fiore. Fiore, please introduce yourself once again. Please.
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 Okay.
For the 3 people who don't know you.
Well, I thought it was 4. Wasn't it
Oh,
4 last time?
oh, okay.
I remember seeing somebody in the chat. I think they took a jab at you saying, I forgot what it was, but they basically said like to go back to you have to entertain those 4 people or something.
Yeah, in the Discord, that's a running gag. Like, go back to streaming for your 0 viewers or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard being famous, you know. It's hard being famous. But please.
Okay, well, for anybody that doesn't know who I am Fiore. I am one of the community managers for the team. And, yeah, I've talked to LuFalcon off and on, and I've done this before. When was this? When was the last time we did this? About
4
maybe
months ago?
3-4 months ago?
Yeah, something
like that.
Line. Yeah. It was pretty far before the combat update, at least.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but I thought you were the only community manager. Did someone join?
Well, no. I mean, I guess we have a kind of we have 2 semi-community managers. I mean,
like
we have Bartold.
Yeah.
We have Bartold
like
and Aaron.
Guys.
They kind of pick up.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, since the team is small, we just have people that pick up here and there. Sometimes I do other things, but yeah, I mean, I guess I'm the only dedicated community manager. So yeah.
Okay.
But that's what I mean. That's why I say one of the.
No,
But if
okay,
you
yeah.
wanna be technical,
everyone has
yeah.
to pick up after each other to just make everything happen. And you're just one guy.
I'm just one guy.
You're just one guy. But you're still the only non-Polish guy, right? You're the only one living
Yes.
in America?
Yes.
Okay. Then that hasn't been changed, at least.
No, I'm still the only one.
Aw. Maybe soon more will join. Well, yeah, we already spoke a little bit about how we're gonna do all of this. Let's just start with the first section. We have kind of made questions for all the different parts about the game, and the first thing is gonna be Azebians. After that, we're gonna talk a little bit about the map. Big next updates like boats, trading, and of course just overall features of the game, and then just questions from other players which I already have gotten. So now that is out of the way, shall we start for realsy now?
Sure, let's go.
Okay, like I said, first I want to talk a little bit about the Azebians. Of course, they're the new big thing that you guys added. Yeah, how did it go, the first initial launch for you guys?
You mean the actual testing or the actual launch on the global or what?
Yeah.
Well, actually, it went quite smooth. I mean, there were some bugs with questing, as there still were kind of leaking through on the global global servers. But yeah, it was actually quite smooth, and I was surprised. Also, I was surprised how well it was received. I guess because of the kind of the feedback we got from the combat update. I was expecting a little bit more harsh feedback, but yeah, surprisingly people liked it, and it went quite smooth. So I think overall it was a pretty good launch.
Yeah, I guess so too. I saw a lot of returning players also. Did you also got that impression that a lot of people came back to check out the Azebians and what had changed?
Yeah. And some people said that they were more excited for that update than the combat update.
Yeah, in the end, for my personal self, I really love everything that has to do with the Azebians, even though they weren't my first choice. Of course, partly is because they're also the Sangmars, but Yeah, it has its charms.
I mean, judging by your videos, I can tell.
Yes, yes, they have. They kind of.
Especially that. Oh, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you first. You first.
I was gonna say, especially that was that one video you made of I don't know what you called it, but it was pretty much the point when we said, oh, it's gonna be released on Tuesday and then Wednesday and then Thursday.
Yeah,
You had that one
something
video
along
when it was like an up and down emotional video.
The 3 stages of the
Oh,
Azebian
yeah,
invasion or
yeah.
something. Like, oh, I really was so frustrated that it was pushed back every time. Like, on Tuesday, I finally got the day of work and I was so ready for all of it. And then nothing came.
Yeah, that's another person said that, and I was like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But luckily, it came out within that week, so.
In the end, it came out on Thursday, right? Or Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Then yeah, let's continue onwards. Why did you actually decide to move the Azebians from the south to the north? Because everything that you have implemented in the past, well, it looked like the Azebians were coming in the north. Of in the south, sorry.
Right. Well, right now, I mean, for the, oh, you mean why would they in the north? Because they're mostly, they're seen as southern type
Yes,
of
in most
characters.
of
Is
the
that what you mean?
lore, they're referenced
Mhm.
to the south, and because
Yeah.
of the NPCs, the scouts from the south and the warriors from the south, we really got the impression that it was intended to be in the south.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if I mentioned it to you, but I have said this before. The map is planned to be flipped at some point, so the south will be the north,
Okay,
and so
okay.
eventually
Well,
you will have the south being the north, and it'll all make sense one day.
okay. But right now you're also working on the map expansion for the Azebian side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it gonna include the Traitor Islands?
I'm not too sure, but it should.
It should, okay. Yeah, that was also a little bit from my side. Like, are you feeling any need to rush the new expansion? The next map expansion?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, the real thing right now is well, I mean, I guess if you're talking about changing the map a bit to make it a bit more fair, I know a lot of players have been complaining about that a bit.
Yeah,
Feeling like they're
we've
kind of
had a lot of
trapped.
trouble with just getting resources.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was a big
So
issue
when you
for
mean
us.
when you mean expansion, do you mean general changes or just
No,
adding?
just even just adding some extra things to a couple of farms, but because that was what I wanted to go with the first thing. If you had put the Zebians on the south, then we had the whole. Well, formerly it was known as Turtle Island, the last
Mhm.
map expansion. Then we had all that to just get farming from, and right now yeah, we're a bit in a side where we don't have that much resources at hand.
Okay, so if that's what you mean, yeah, that definitely will be. It is being worked on. New
Yeah.
locations are being worked on for that. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that definitely is something that needs to be changed.
Yeah, because I back to the how do you call that, map expansion. I hear a lot of people actually telling us or just saying like the Traitor Islands. Why won't we just put them away? Just do 2 castles there and be done with it, because it isn't really being used. It's a bit of a waste of space. That's what I hear
Mhm.
from a couple of people.
Oh yeah, yeah, they do need to be reworked. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, then I got the first question from Majestic. Question for Fiore. When the crafting will be less expensive, talking about materials, since that was their first plane. What? Do
I
you
think he
mean
means first plan.
will they? Okay, maybe if I'm wrong, just say so, Majestics. Will you make crafting less expensive? I guess it was that question. Like, will it cost less flex and less steel bars?
I mean, that has been done recently. I don't know how far you want it to be done. The problem is if right now I guess things are kind of imbalanced. You have features that still need to be added, and it's kind of difficult to tell exactly how much we need. So, and the balance is still kind of iffy. And from what I've seen from other players, it seems okay, especially compared to a few months ago. You said the taxes will be less expensive. I mean, that's kind of the point. They're supposed to be a little bit.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a gold sink.
Okay.
But I mean, if he thinks that it's a bit much, then I mean, of course, just give the feedback and things will be tweaked a bit here and there.
Okay.
That's what we're all here for.
No, of course.
But yeah, I mean, it actually was changed a bit recently, so.
Yeah,
but I mean, again, it can be changed again.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I myself really, I just delved into crafting today, so I really am not an expert on it. But, yeah, I did get the feeling that it already got a little bit less of what they ask from just farming. And I did like the extra thing of coins, but I don't know if that really adds something. And wouldn't that stop a new player for getting into crafting?
What? Could you say that again?
Now with the extra, I'm gonna call it tax on crafting, will it not be harder for new players to get into crafting?
Well, you have the tax, but it shouldn't be too high. I mean,
no, it's not high. It's
no.
The lowest is copper. It's 1 copper for almost everything.
Yeah.
So that's in my mind not really that high. But you're not planning to make it really much higher or anything.
Possibly for higher things, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't see how that's. I mean, I'd have to see exactly what they're talking about. This the expensive types of things, because from what I understand, it shouldn't be too difficult for a new player to get into it.
No. Okay. Very good. Very good. Then let's continue onwards. Why was the decision made to add the Sang Mars to the Azebians?
Okay, so for that, so you mean not having them a separate faction?
Yes.
As a fourth faction?
Yeah, if I look right now on the Gloria Victis side, then it looks like the Azebians are their own faction.
Yeah, we have 3 factions.
Yeah, and now we're going to 3 factions. That was at least something they told me.
That's
Aaron
that's for what I guess you could call a triangle type of PvP balance.
Yes.
We don't want total domination of one nation. So there will be 2 nations always attacking one nation, which will be harder to defend against than only worrying about one enemy nation.
Yes.
And according to the game's lore, the Sangmarians have only one remaining city, which is called Balhaman.
Yes.
But it is dependent upon the Azebian Empire, so they're under quite a large rule by them. They do have some freedoms which allow the Sangmarian characters to progress and have some adventures, but they are not a sovereign nation. So it's kind of always been tied into the lore that they're under rule.
Okay.
So it's partly that, but mostly because of the PvP triangle balance.
Okay.
We find that the 3 nations is a bit more easier to balance than the 4.
No, of course, that's just a given. So then I guess my next question is gonna be answered. Will the Sang Mars ever rebel and become the 4th faction? I think that's gonna be a no.
Well, yeah, it's unlikely since we want to keep the 3-nation balance going on.
Yeah.
Adding the 4th will break that idea, so it's not very likely to happen. Although there might be some, perhaps some rebel events or something similar to that, possibly from some story event. But yeah, it's doubtful that it will ever be allowed to be successful.
Okay, no, that's really cool. At least we're getting a capital for the Sangmars themselves.
Mhm. Yep.
Now I popped up another question. The Izmirs and the Midlanders also have now a secondary race. I can call it a race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we see them as the same as the Sangmars? Like they will also get their own capital and a small storyline?
Perhaps, yeah. Although they are different than the Sigmars, they're not exactly in the same situation. But yeah, there could be some little
Like they're just powerful
tributes here and
clans
there.
who still
Yeah.
are loyal to. Does Midland have an emperor? I don't know, lore-wise.
Yeah, the lore is still needs to be written a bit. It's not completely fleshed out.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, they will have some little area for themselves. But it's not exactly the same situation as Singmar. So they won't have this huge, amazing city in the same way that the place is called Balhamin for the Singmars.
Okay.
But yeah, they will have little areas for themselves that you can go visit and roleplay if that's what you want.
Yeah, no, of course. How more, in games, more races, more stories, and that sort of stuff is always great. So I got a viewer question from Striker. Will there be more kinds of different shields one day? Like, right now we have just one-handed shields, but what Striker is suggesting is tower shields. Like those really big shields that you even can just put in front of you.
Yeah, it's possible, especially with crossbows coming up. So yeah, you would
Okay,
need something like that.
Okay, crossbows are already in development? Like designed and that sort of things? Or is that a future feature?
It's a near future. It's not likely to be in the soon future since they're low on the priority list, but they'll definitely be introduced at some point. So yeah, you better gear up because crossbows are deadly.
Yeah, wow. No, that I know. But will crossbows... This is all plans, of course. Will crossbows actually have... will they be more slower than archers? Like we already talked about with putting on heavy armor actually makes you slower than someone with light armor.
So you're asking about will the crossbows be slower?
Yeah, will wielding a
definitely,
crossbow overall just be slower? Yeah, okay. But it will be just get hit by one bolt and you're gone, mate.
Well, I don't know about one. I think that's something for maybe a multiplayer arena game. I don't know if one shot would be that great in an MMO. But yeah, it's not something you would want to get hit with.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's continue then. Let's go to the map.